I'm going to do the Word program, and this is a video to show how it's done, at least on Microsoft Publisher, which is one of the Outlook, Word, Excel programs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and click on the last one, which is the one from the 24th, and I'll use that as the starting point for this next week's program. And I do that first by going up to File, Save As, and I've got a folder called Sacrament Programs and Publisher Files, and I'm going to go down here at File Name and change it to, let's see, it's going to be 12.1 2019-1201, because it'll be the 1st of December. So I'll save. Now that means that the prior program is saved and now I'm in a different one, and you can see up top here that it's 1201. First thing I always do is when I do that, I go in and change the dates to make sure that I don't forget. And that's the one side, and here's the other side. That being done, now I can go to the inside of the program and start clearing things that I know are no longer valid according to their dating. The annual award party is December 6th. That's, all of these are date order. So, and this will become, the Release Society one will become December 1st. They have one for every week. And while I'm here, let me slide over and up, and here are their topics, which I get by email from them. And I've got December 1st here, and I'm just going to, this is a little tricky. And I'm going to Control C to copy that. That's Control C. And now I'll come back in here and replace this line. Now it'll be a smaller type and underlined if it does what it usually does, and I'll fix that. It didn't. Okay, so good. And then I want to double check and make sure I've got the right one. And this says, write your favorite Christmas program, and ends with or one above or below. And so, write your favorite Christmas program or one above or below. And since this one is indented, I'm going to indent that as well. When I'm all done, I'll go back and clean up everything. Like, I'll move the sister so it's not split, and make this all clean. No need to do that yet. I'm just getting the basics down. Okay, and so these are all the same. The award Christmas party, winter break, that's December 23rd. And then these items are non-date sensitive and remain in the program each week, unless whoever authorized the announcement it lets you know to change it. Now, because this is 3 lines up here instead of the 1 or 2 lines that it was, it's moved things off into disappearing, and you'll see that this little mark here indicates that there's overflow. Now, if I click on this, you can see, let's see, where is it? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that up there for now. I can hit delete 1, twice, 2 times, and move that period over. Okay, and that got rid of the little marking here showing overflow. And again, when this is finalized, I'll go through and make sure all the spacing is there and have everything show up and evenly spaced. The pathway connect stays for 4 weeks, so it's been in 1 week. Now it needs to be in for basically most of December, and you can usually tell by a date that might be in here. The enrollment period for winter ends on December 17th, so after that we probably don't need to put it in there. And the temple info remains the same. I had the picture of the temple in there and the calendar, but I didn't have room once this came in. No problem. Now over here I'm going to just take this and slide it down. This was a picture I had, and I shaped it to the right size and put it in there, but Thanksgiving will have passed by the time this program is done. Now the info for this part of the program comes to us from Bishopric Sacrament meeting spreadsheet, and that you'll get authorization to have access to through the Executive Secretary Dave Thomas. And this was the last week. That'll change to gold when Dave decides it's time. So the next one is this. It's going to be fast and testimony meeting. The first counselor, what this means is who's conducting. Now, if it's the bishop conducting, then they assign either the first counselor or second counselor to actually call and find speakers. So conducting also means finding speakers, except for when the bishop is conducting. He's busy enough as it is. He doesn't need to find the speakers. And this goes all the way up to the beginning of the year. And so it will change as it rolls over into the new year. Different people have access to this and fill in these things. Now, so we'll be on this one here, and there won't be any speakers because it's testimony day. Dave Thomas, the executive secretary, finds the prayers and puts those in. Sister Reed fills in the music, and let me slide this over. And here's who are the organist and the conductor, music conductor. And the organist alternates generally between John Ramsey and Emily Gipper. And Janice Larson conducts the music each week, unless she needs a substitute for her. And so this is where the program info comes. Now, often the prayers won't be in there right away during the beginning of the week, but they get in, as Dave gets a chance to call and assign prayers. And so that's something that as I do these, whether I prepare it on Sunday or Monday, whenever he gets the prayers in, then I can enter those in. Now let's minimize this and go back to the program. Now, since I don't know who the prayers are going to be, I just put an X there so I know that's the placeholder, and here too for the invocation. And the music changes. I'm just leaving that in there for the moment so that I have those placeholders and they're easy to change. And the organist will be John Ramsey. It's important to spell everybody's names correct. And often, if there's any concern about whether it's a correct spelling or not, it's best to look it up in the Word directory. And on the hymns, they'll be in that spreadsheet, which is right here. But once I get them entered into here, then I go to the hymnal and double check. I check the name of the hymn for commas, exclamation points, capitalization, and then make sure that the hymn number is correct. This is going to be the end of this particular segment. I'll continue on in the next segment.